Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Flow Sports in the studio. I'm Amber Salas alongside Arielle Dworetsky, and we are here bringing you the FloCheer Podcast. We're super excited about this. Kind of just want to test it out right now. Obviously, it's the off season, but still so much to talk about right now.
Yeah, chat with the fans, everyone who knows and loves cheerleading just like we do. So why not bring it to you in a different kind of way?
Yeah, so definitely keep up with us. All the FloCheer socials, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We want to hear from you. We're really open to everything right now of, things you want to talk about, things that maybe have surprised you in the cheer off season so far. That's what this is all about. So First off, Arielle, let's just talk about this season was pretty fun. If you don't know, we're on the ground pretty much everywhere the whole season with a special front row seat to everything that's going on in the cheer world. But I don't know about you. I had a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, this year was fun, especially Worlds. Worlds was unlike any other. Lots of surprises, lots of good things coming out of it. But now that the season's over, we're already looking at the next one, and we've seen a lot of changes, which is pretty cool and pretty exciting.
Yeah, obviously also just to call out, we both did cheer at some point in our lives. That seems like a different eternity now, but obviously still love it. What's been so cool for me, kind of taking a step back into the world now, the talent is just off the charts.
Insane, yeah.
I get so excited. I feel like I just want to jump back in and I could go full out again. But I just know I would be humbled so fast by how good everyone is these days. And I think that's exactly what we saw at Worlds. But to your point, coaches, gym owners, everyone these days, as this tryout season's kind of wrapping up right now, we're getting those first look at teams. Teams are being announced. Every year, they're going back to the drawing board of what's going to be the best fit. And that's exactly what we've started to see. So let's break it down. A lot of new teams, division changes, and that's inevitably going to happen every year. But what's kind of stood out to you so far?
Yeah, so starting us off, we saw some of those team reveals happening right away. The Stingrays All-Stars were some of the first ones to drop those teams, and speaking of dropping the Hammer Steels back in large. I'm so excited to see them back in that dogfight with Cheetahs and TGLC. Kind of feels just homey again. It's back to what we know, and I really like that.
Yeah, and this year at Worlds, only 4 teams were in that large co-ed division, but back in the day, remember when there was like 10 of them, or just how loaded
back on the good old baseball field?
It always will be an iconic division, so loaded no matter what. But super exciting to see Steel back in the division. They, of course, were world champions in large co-ed back in 2017 and 2019.
Yeah, they took home that bronze medal this year, so had a great run in medium co-ed.
Which was loaded this year, by the way. Still had an awesome showing. They made some pretty cool upgrades for Worlds as well, and definitely a memorable performance from them for sure. Also, while we're talking about Stingrays, can we talk about their reveal videos of athletes finding out when they make the teams? That's one of my favorite things. The orange ones kind of made me want to cry.
I know. I was like, we see them all on Twitter. I'm just scrolling through the feed. I'm like, who's going to be next? Same with us, though. We were waiting for all the reveals, too, of the teams, trying to find out with all those new teams in there. We're like, what division so-and-so going to be in this year? They have new teams galore at Stingrays. So that was super exciting to see.
Steel, although they're leaving the medium co-ed division, we're going to get to this a little bit later on, though. Another fun team might be taking their spot. Yeah. We'll get to that, though. All right. Speaking large co-ed, switching things over to large all-girl, another iconic division. Someone new entering the mix this season.
Yes, Casey Cheer Fearless, welcome back to large all-girl. We're happy to see you here. Joining Orange, World Cup, Senior Elite, and Panthers. It's just going to make it even more exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I think for this one, we saw Fearless. They were competing in level 6 senior small this past season. I think it's another example just of gyms, programs, everyone continuing to grow. I think it's just a great example of how our sport is growing overall, that a team is going from small to large. It's a pretty big jump in terms of how many girls are going to be out there on the floor for them. And like we said, it just adds something new to the mix, makes the division. It's already a loaded, exciting, competitive division, but it just adds another piece to the mix, which will be super fun to see unfold.
And we've seen nothing but love from the other teams welcoming them into this division, which is really exciting to know that everyone's so excited for them to join them. So that's been really cool to see, too.
Yeah, and Casey Cheer, they who was the co-ed team that won a couple years ago?
Fierce 5.
Fierce 5, yes,
co-ed,
sorry.
yeah.
And so many teams to keep track of. KC Cheer has been doing really well. So again, it's just more opportunities, more chances to grow, and this will be really exciting to see for sure.
Yes.
Another one we've been kind of keeping an eye on, the Level 6 International Small Co-ed Division.
Yes.
Some teams that we didn't see last season that are now returning to the mix. The biggest one we're looking at, though, is Cali Co-ed. They've announced they're bringing Cali Co-ed back.
Yes.
Don't know for sure exactly what division they're going to be in.
This is our prediction, though. Again, a very educated guess, not for real, not factual.
We're refreshing Twitter and everything just
This
as
is
much
just
as you all are at
guess
home.
based off of those reveals, who said they were on the team. So we don't really know yet, but that's where we're predicting they're going to go. But also in that division this year, Spirit of Texas Reign joining them in that dogfight. So that'll be really cool to see them there too.
Yeah.
That is a loaded division at Worlds also.
Yeah. And again, just fun to see how things change year to year. Both these teams were not competing last season. Cali Code, of course, won that division back in 2023. They weren't even a team at all last year. It was just Lady Bullets out of the San Marcos, or Lady Bullets, Glow was out of San Marcos as well, Rangers, of course, but we did not see Cali Coed last year. So no matter where they go, it'll be fun to have them back. I feel like they're just always an iconic name, no matter where they are or what they're doing, but... All right, what else do we have here?
Moving on to my favorite division.
This one makes us sad, everyone.
We're saying goodbye to the International Global Co-ed Division, so where are they now? Moving into different ones as that Global Co-ed Division finalized. Electric did win that 5th and final world title, which was so fun to see. They have had so many runs year after year where they have been they've been globing, but they finally got that gold, and I was so excited to see that for them.
Yeah.
But now they are moving into the International Open Large Co-ed division. So they're going to be facing 00 and Wildcats now. That is going to be a jam-packed division. That is like large co-ed, but in the big kid form, even though they are all big kids, but that's just an even beefier version of it, going from Cheetahs, Steel, and TGLC up now. So,
and what's so cool, people keep competing for so many years, and the international division allows them to do just that. So to your point, most of these athletes probably were competing back on Cheetahs, TGLC, Steel, and they're still competing now and on Electric, 00, of course, all these teams. So it's really cool to see. And that division, the international large, so fun to watch no matter what happens. Of course, 00 has been dominating such a long streak that they've had the past couple of years.
6 consecutive years. That's the longest title for a team in a single standing division, which is insane.
Very impressive. And just year after year, they go back to the drawing board. Another fun routine to watch, full of skills. I loved the football routine this year.
Being football fans, we loved it.
But Wildcats is always right in there each year, but now to see what Electric's going to do, and
I know
they started in this division way back in
the day. Yeah, this is where they debuted, Electric. So now it's
like a full circle journey, and a lot of those athletes that were on Electric and Global are coming back. So I'm so excited to see what that whole division's going to look like.
And even to your point about like that Steel Electric crossover, so a lot of those during the reveals of those Steel kids on Electric now. So I'm going to see a lot of that, and I'm super pumped. But moving on in that global division, California All-Star SMOED, they are going back to their roots in small co-ed.
Iconic.
I'm so excited to see them back. Fun fact, SMOED is what made me start love All-Star Cheerleading back in the day from their show. I was like,
the Cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders was iconic.
I watched every episode of that when it would drop on YouTube.
I was waiting for it to watch, and I watched everything, even though I was not an All-Star at the time myself, but man, I was a big fan.
Cheerleaders and SMOED brought a lot of fans into the sport for sure. And just what an iconic legacy they have in that division. 5-time world champions in the Level 6 senior small co-ed division. Not only that, 4 in a row, which I remember when these 4 years were going down, it was like, can they do it again? Oh, and best believe they'd go do it again.
Come out and smack those routines, no steps, no nothing. They weren't moving on that floor.
2012 to 2015, so impressive. So again, I mean, small co-ed is always such a fun division. Brandon Senior Black has been doing really well.
Max Senior Stars.
Senior Stars. So it'll be fun. Again, SMOED back in the mix.
I know. know.
How is everything going to go down? This will for sure be a fun division to watch.
But then one of our biggest teams in that International Global Co-Ed division, Top Gun Glock. I was like, they won 2023, but now, where are they? We don't know.
Yeah. So Glock, they were posting about them on social media, posting about tryouts and everything, but kind of an unknown at the moment. As far as we've seen, we did not see them on the Top Gun Miami reveal list. But we were kind of chatting about this too. You know, some of those international teams get maybe a little bit of a later start in the season. A lot of the athletes are real life like us too. They have jobs, they're going to school, you know? So sometimes later start. So we don't know. We can't rule out Glock just yet.
Yeah. Where will they be? It's kind of like that Cali Co-Ed. And we're like, Cali Co, we know as a team, but we're like Glock, we're like, what are you going to do? What's your next move?
Yeah. So you all keep an eye on that as well. Let us know, and that'll be fun to see. But so that's kind of teams that we know are teams, and maybe we're moving divisions. They've been around for a little bit. But also the best part of the new season rolling around, some brand new teams enter the mix. So let's go back to Stingrays, a new team coming around for them this year.
Yes, level 6 senior medium co-ed. They are introducing Shadow. So not only are they bringing a team back to large co-ed, bringing a team back to medium co-ed, which that's a big deal. That means you have some numbers there.
Right.
You are coming for it. I was
because
like,
medium already is still a larger division as well, and then
huge
with large as well, and then orange being large, like there's a lot of level 6 athletes, world athletes in general that they're pulling from Stingrays, which is awesome. Again, to our point, just the growth of the sport, the growth of the programs, so cool to see each year.
Yeah, and then welcoming into the mix too in the level 6 extra small co-ed, Brandon All-Stars Fire.
So this is going to be fun.
I know.
Because this is, again, brand new. Don't know really anything about them yet. But obviously, Brandon has had a history of success with Senior Black. 6 world titles now. This was 6 this year. I'll never forget them saying that in the Worlds interview. But yeah, so again, just it's the level of athletes coming to tryouts, the level of athletes that are Worlds ready, so much so that they can create a whole new team.
And an extra small co-ed team, and that's also a very stacked division.
It is,
so,
for sure.
I was like, Fever won the title this year. Fever's been winning. I was like, I'm wondering what's going to shake up now, because we also know both those teams are like,
CJ,
Brandon's very dominant in their division. And
CJ Team Guns did really well.
My
Stars,
goodness,
Vipers, Hiss.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll see. And, to your point, that extra small number is kind of fun.
It is
because
fun.
It's not that many athletes out on the floor, but they still are able to do some incredible things. And, it's just been a fun thing to add to the level 6 mix.
Yeah, in that extra small like co-ed division especially, you see the creativity with their stunts, their pyramids, on what they can do with the number that they have.
Yeah, and some are doing 4 stunts in the elite sequence. Some are doing 3 with people tumbling up front. Right. That's what's fun to see. So
it's like, how do you choose to maximize the score sheet in those moments? So
and Fire, I like that name. It's gonna be fun. All right, so jumping back over to the California All-Stars. This one makes us a little sad too. We said goodbye for now to the California All-Stars Vixens in the level 6 senior extra small division. Man, that was so fun. Watching Vixens and Fearless this past season, unreal. 2 incredibly talented teams that just battled it out.
And the level of competition that they bring out of each other too.
Yes, and insane. Just the level of respect that they have for each other too. Both coming from the West Coast, they saw each other pretty much everywhere they went. But I just all season long you see the score sheets come in and they're separated by like tenths of a point. 0.5. Like it was unreal. Of course, Fearless won, Vixens in second, but we're still going to see the California All-Stars in the extra small division, maybe just a little different now.
Yes. There's a brand new team that hasn't set a division yet. So, Co-Ed 6 with Exidius. We don't know what that's going to be. Is that even how you say that name?
Exodus.
I was like, I don't even know.
Yes, but this is out of the Arizona location.
Yes.
Adam Champion. Iconic last name. Love it.
Yes.
But also with the California All-Stars, I believe this one's back to the San Marcos location. We've seen some posts. The California All-Stars Relentless, a level 7 international non-tumbling division. I believe there's no longer sparkle anymore either.
This
is kind of the non-tumbling team that's coming back to the mix, or kind of replacing what sparkle might have been per se.
Moving up to level 7 now, so some new skills out there, which is going to be really exciting.
Really fun to see. Level 7 brings a whole other element.
This is the college level. Yeah, the 2.5 highs, the flipping baskets.
I remember back in my day, it was still level 6 back at the time, so that's always weird for me. But I remember when the level 7 teams would be practicing. It's just incredible. Like when you're on the lower levels and you're seeing them throw a double full basket, and you're like,
yeah,
whoa. So yeah, just a lot of fun elements that they can add. And, you know, non-tumbling has I think a lot of people were maybe unsure about it in the beginning, thinking just along the lines of, you know, if you're going to Worlds, why isn't everyone tumbling? Whatever people might think. But I think the narrative has really changed.
I agree.
Because these routines are incredibly jam-packed, so much stamina and endurance to be able to stunt at that high level and execute
2.5
it.
minutes?
Yes, that is incredibly hard. And again, kind of talking about the creativity of routines, people like Code Black or Lady Lux that just have kind of written this whole new narrative for non-tumbling.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see Level 7, the California All-Stars, just their brand of cheerleading that they bring.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
And I'm excited for that Level 7 International and Tumbling division, because that puts them against those really good Canadian teams, those really good teams from across the world. I'm very curious to see how they stack up against them and what they're going to bring, because Notorious year after year comes with clean routines that we love to see. So I'm like, what's going to happen here? I'm like, are we going to shake things up? What's going down?
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, and now that's more of our West Coast side. Yeah. Going back over to the East Coast, we've seen Georgia All-Stars Notorious. Now, not to be mixed up, Notorious has been a team.
Yes.
The last few seasons, though, I believe they were competing level 5, but this year they're leveling up. They're going to the world scene. They're going to be a level 6 limited extra small co-ed team. So I think it's just fun because it shows the hard work pays off.
And I love seeing these little gyms building their teams up to create these Worlds teams and come. I was like, it's so exciting.
That means these athletes have put in the work.
Yes.
They've stayed consistent at their levels to get their skills to now be a Worlds team.
Yeah.
So that's something fun to add to the mix. And, you know, the limited divisions, they've been fun too. Just seeing these teams have their opportunity to shine on the big stage. So we'll see what happens there for sure. Also, over on the East Coast, A-List Athletics, they're joining the Level 6 Senior Extra Small Division, Lady Lavish.
Yeah.
This one, I'm excited about them too.
I am
A-List
too.
Athletics has really been on the rise.
Yes.
Of course, I believe it's Glamour Girls.
Glamour Girls.
Their non-tumbling team that won last year. They still globed this year. I think they got the bronze. They're always a fun one to watch. And I have a feeling, I wrote this down, most of these girls on this extra small team, I think, are probably coming from their junior 6 team last season, Miss 6.
Yeah.
They did really well. So just kind of, again, this is just our suspicions too from looking at the same things you're all looking at, just looking at their reveals and whatnot. They still have their level 5 team, but no more junior 6, which gives us kind of that feeling that probably a lot of these girls are ready for that next stage.
Yeah,
so that's exciting. Super exciting too.
And then while we're waiting for some of these new teams to be revealed, still waiting on everyone to announce where they're going, teams that actually are going to be, at the time of this podcast that we are filming this, revealing today, on Thursday, June 6th, we are waiting on Prodigy All-Stars and Cheer Athletics, 2 very big powerhouse programs year after year. So today, we heard there's some Meow Mail coming out, so we can't wait to see those.
Meow Mail, that's always fun. Yeah, and, you know, we can obviously assume Cheer Athletics is going to have cheetahs and panthers, the iconic household names. But again,
Swoosh Cats won last year too.
Yes, this is the fun time where you're kind of on the edge of your seats. Like, do they have enough to make another team we know nothing about yet? Is someone going to come
anything?
Back? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, from either Prodigy or Cheer Athletics, I'm like, we haven't heard anything in terms of, are there new teams?
And that's when
they're going to be.
That's when the bomb drops on Twitter. You're like, whoa!
Yeah. Oh, you best believe we'll be scrolling after this all day long. Actually, Meow Mail's been going out this whole time while we're filming this, so there'll be something very exciting for us to see. Run, get our phones really fast, I know.
All right, well, that's kind of the latest and greatest around the all-star world for right now. But obviously, this time of year is also super exciting on the school side of things as well. We've had a couple things come out of the college world, especially if you keep up with the NCAA side of things. Navarro.
Yeah, Dustin was officially named the head coach. He's been the interim head coach for the last year, but he has officially been named the head coach of Navarro. So that's so exciting, and congratulations to him.
Yes, congratulations. Dustin is awesome.
He's an alumni of the program, so it's cool to see him go back to his roots, going back there.
He's been on staff a couple years, like you were saying, so he's learned under Monica. And
he has titles there. He has titles at Moorhead. I was like, he's been on the all-star side, so he's definitely known in our world, so it's good to see him make such a big transition.
Yeah, and just kind of from here and around the world, I think a lot of people are excited about this. I think this last year, just, it's always hard when someone like Monica has been around for so long, and then the athletes that have been there for a little bit, do they get used to her? It's kind of sometimes hard to bring in a new coach to the mix. But I think everyone responded to him so well.
I agree.
He's a great person. And I think just he'll continue to bring that culture, obviously a culture of winning and success.
And as a disclaimer, we have no idea if there's going to be a Cheer Season 3. Dropping that here. We have no clue.
I know.
But
that's kind of fun.
Everyone always asks us, like, is there a Cheer Season 3? And I'm like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
So no clue, but congratulations, Dustin. We're so excited to see what you can do on that side of things.
Right now, not a whole lot going on in the college cheer world too. Most of these people are leaving for summer, just like every other person in school right now. I got to get a little bit of a break. But we will start to see a couple of those big college programs starting to go to their summer camps. That's always a fun time. And, this is like, once we get to like July, August, it's like they're all gearing up for football season if they do that or that time of year. And then before you know it, UCA College Nationals is here. So we'll be keeping an eye on some things.
And it's that time of the year, too, where we see those new skills. So we'll find out what new skills are going to be legal, what people are going to be trying. So we'll have all that for you, too.
Everyone's trying to think outside the box to see what they can do bigger and better. So that
every
is
single
always fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's kind of the latest we're seeing around the cheer world, both all-star, college, school, whatever you want to call, for kind of this off-season time of year.
Yeah.
But we still haven't really been able to dive into everything that happened at the Cheerleading Worlds 2024.
Right.
How is it already June, and that happened over a month ago now?
I know, and I was like,
on
June 6th, we're filming this, and I was like, oh my Lanta.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun and when you're talking cheerleading.
Yeah, so obviously we could talk all day long about what happened at the Cheerleading Worlds. Truly the pinnacle of cheerleading, the best of the best, the hardest routines you're going to see all season long. But if there's one division that we could really talk about all day long.
I already telling you about it because it was the greatest this year. It was so much fun.
You tell us.
Level 6 senior medium. Oh my goodness.
So
that entire
good.
division is jam-packed.
Honestly, we could say the same thing for co-ed. This is the thing. We wanted to pick one division to break down for you all. And that was the hardest thing in the world because every division could be broken down for hours long. But yes, of course, we want to go with level 6 senior medium.
Yeah.
Let's just start right off the bat. The world champions, Top Gun Lady Jags.
Woo!
It was their time after what a season they went through.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This routine was fun.
It was
great
so
theme.
much fun, yeah.
This had great skills. And that's what happens during the season. Bumps in the road, ups and downs, winning, losing, whatever it might be. But what matters is how you continue to grow
and how you finish the season. And that they did. They came out day 1 and day 2 with beautiful routines.
Beautiful cheerleading.
Yeah. I have deduction literally talking about it right now because I was so excited for them.
I just will also never forget the crowd going nuts. Like, they brought a crowd. They brought the energy in the dance.
And
the
filming the
was
coaches, just
shaking.
seeing all of them, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I have chills talking about it. I will continue every single time we talk about this moment. But what's so cool for them is that this 4th title in this division makes them the winningest program in the level 6 senior medium division. That's so impressive.
Yes.
So impressive to come out year after year, well, 4 years now to be exact for them, and to claim that.
Yeah.
Because there's so much talent in this division too, as we're going to keep talking about, because
very impressive.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
yeah.
then
Congratulations to Lady Jags. Jumping right over though. this team made a statement. I think everyone will be talking about them for years to come. Central Jersey All-Stars Bombshells, they put on one heck of a show.
That part in the dance right there, going into the jumps.
Such a fun routine. The music and everything that went along with it. This was their first year in the division.
Yes.
They were in Global in 2023 and they won.
Yeah, they were.
So Bombshells, they've had a history, obviously, of finding success, but when they came to this division, it's like, okay, so what's going to happen?
And then seeing them for the first time at NCA, jaw dropped. Day
one, I think that was the loudest that building was that day.
Could feel the floor shake during their performance. And same thing at Worlds, too. I was like, this routine, to me personally, brought back...
Shells coming through with the boom.
Yes, that right there. Every single time I was like... Their music was like old cheerleading again, like old all-star cheerleading. The routine, everything, but like the music is what got me. I was like, I will be singing that day in and day out, just walking through the office, and people are probably like, what are they doing? But
that might have been, we're cheer fans like everyone else. That might have been, I think it was my favorite routine of this entire season. And to your point, it wasn't, obviously it was loaded, jam-packed with skills. It was difficult, doubles galore, the stunts were impressive. Yes. But it was the energy that they brought with them. And I literally wrote this down. I actually got to follow them on the final day of Worlds, go backstage with them.
And that was one of my favorite videos that you made, too, of the weekend. Yeah.
So fun. It's always my favorite, just to we used to compete on that big stage, too. There's no way to describe the feeling when you're backstage getting ready to go kill it, and to just kind of be the fly on the wall, like watching, hearing what they're saying. It'll give me the chills again, too. But Coach Gina... I'll never forget this. She was like, this routine, it's like your favorite dress. It's like the dress that fits you the best. Like, you go out there and own it. And I feel like that's what we saw from them all season long. They owned it. They brought the sass. They brought the energy. They were so confident.
Yeah, they brought that Jersey energy down in the best way, having so much fun on that floor, hitting their stunts, dancing their hearts out, leaving everything on that mat, and you could feel it.
And that's why everyone loved it, is because it brought you the sense of exactly how they're feeling too. So,
and they were so incredibly happy with that second place finish too, which was they did amazing all season long. So seeing them in that second place title and being so happy for it was also awesome.
Yeah, very awesome. Great finish for sure. All right. And then taking the bronze, F5. They were fun too, and they rallied back.
They had a division change too. They switched this year from level 6 senior open.
Yes, and they were world champions in 2023 as well. Yeah, a few new faces to the medium division this season. But, F5, another awesome routine. And I think what was so cool about them, to our point again of what we were kind of saying, it matters how you finish. It doesn't matter how you start. Day one, not their favorite. A couple mistakes. I'm sure they all were not happy with that.
Right.
But they said, you know what? We're not done. Day two, let's come back. Yeah. And they killed it, and they move up to take that bronze.
Yeah, and they looked amazing. That was a fun routine. I like seeing F5 back in that, they obviously have been in large in the past, but to come down to medium and to compete in such a huge division and have that third place finish like they did, outstanding.
Yeah, F5 always has beautiful tumbling too. Yeah, always, it's like floating through the air, perfect technique, super fun to watch.
Finishing those doubles toes to the front every single time. Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened at Worlds 2024, but also going back to this season, a couple new faces that are going to be joining this division.
Yes.
First things first, Woodlands Elite Red Angels. They were in level 6 senior small back in 2023. We're not a team this past season.
But they did globe in 2023.
Yes, they took the bronze. So this will, again, generals, Red Angels, so many people in this sport that are at the high level to make all of these Worlds teams. So... And again, I just get so excited of the division's growing. Who are we going to see? What are they going to do now? How does this change everything? And that's, I guess, the hardest part of the off season right now is we're going to have to wait until we see what all this starts to look like.
So long, but maybe, spoiler alert, you might see us on the roads in places too to see some of these routines in advance.
We're going to go check in.
Yeah. But also entering this division this year, we have Cheer Savannah Lady Lace. Or not in that division, I'm so sorry.
Yes, they are
in that
joining
division,
medium.
Level 6 senior small, yeah.
Yep, they were in level 6 senior small this past season.
Jumping to medium this year,
actually, maybe the past few years. I know they've jumped around as well. But again, Cheer Savannah, they compete D1,
Yes.
but a smaller division out of the or a smaller gym out of the mix. So again, Lady Lace has done well in the past.
Yeah.
They've, one year I believe they finished about 5th, or they were up there.
Yeah.
They make finals.
always fare well
They're a
every year,
presence.
yes.
Yeah. So again,
They are known. People look forward to seeing them on that floor every single year.
their uniforms are always beautiful too, with
So I
their
was
little
excited
bow
to
in the
see
back.
them in this medium division, taking that on with everyone too.
Yeah. Again, just fun new faces to call out, and just that's the thing about cheer is because things are always changing. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. Teams that have we even going back to 00, we talk about these impressive win streaks,
Right.
and it's like you can build up those impressive win streaks, but then also these same teams, maybe have a streak where they don't win or they drop down to like 3rd, 4th. It's because the talent is ever changing.
Yeah.
New faces are always entering the mix. It's like starting fresh every year. So this is like a perfect example because medium is going to have a completely different look next year, which will be really cool.
I agree.
All right, well, still talking about Worlds. This was also hard to think about.
This was.
There have been some moments that we just can't get out of our head.
Yeah, so we picked
They're
our
on repeat.
top 5.
Yes.
This was a very hard top 5 to pick. We're going to start off saying that. But we just got to kick it off.
I think this first one was a no-brainer, though. This
and I
one,
think everyone's gonna be like,
and for a
okay,
lot of
right.
people, probably.
Yeah, Cheer Extreme Code Black. Are you kidding me?
Truly iconic.
With this routine all season long, it is the most beautiful routine. They come out, they have the most flawless stunts, flawless execution. They don't move, they don't walk. I'm like, I want to be a fly on the wall in your gym for these practices. How do you do this? I'm like, Kelly, what is your secret? I want to know how you train these athletes to be also, they're such a friendly team, to be such great humans and great athletes.
Yes.
I'm like, going through this routine, it doesn't move.
Yeah.
At all.
Very incredible difficulty, incredible technique. To your point, no one's moving. Everything that comes along with technique, the flexibility, the execution, the height of tosses and baskets, the pyramids, the creativity. It truly had it all. And what is so awesome is I know Code Black brought a lot of fans in this season, and kind of what we were saying earlier, just changing the narrative of non-tumbling.
Yes.
So many people were I remember, shout out Jason Larkin's Let's Talk Cheer podcast. He does some fun things, kind of breaking down like the top routines throughout the season and kind of how they change, like getting people involved. And I know Code Black was on the list a lot. So that just tells you like prominent people in the cheer world.
Everything, nothing's gonna move in these stunt sections. They're just gonna whoop straight to the top, hit. Like,
perfect.
Are you kidding me?
Also the theme.
I love the theme.
Day of the Dead. They executed that perfectly.
And their music, it is catchy and fun if you actually take the time to listen to it.
Jump technique. Look at that center. Beautiful. Height.
And this is another one of those things where I do think they have helped bring so much respect to the non-tumbling division, because it is something people like we said, it was talked about for a while where we're like, are people okay with it? And yes, this is a direct representation of why if you aren't, you should be. Look at that basket height. Are you kidding me? Stunning.
Yeah.
Like, they do not stop moving for the entire time. These pyramids, so much fun. We love watching this routine as we're literally watching it here with you now.
Yeah. And what I think is so cool, this was so well deserved because all season long, Code Black executed. Of course, they won NCA. Pretty much every big competition I saw them at, they were flawless, just like this. They continued, obviously, to get better every time they took the stage. But just like we were saying, you add difficulty throughout the entire season. But no matter what they had and no matter what they brought to the table, they did it with clean execution, which is, I think, what made this so impressive.
And this was one of those things where they haven't won the gold in a couple years. So
look at them running off the floor. That just tells you right there, they killed it.
They haven't won the gold in a couple of years, so they came back fighting year after year, and you could tell this whole year they were hungry for it. They worked so hard every competition to make sure that they were flawless and sticking every single stunt, making sure it didn't move with that technique, and it paid off for them. They got that gold medal, and I'm so happy for them.
Yes. So congratulations to Code Black. You are forever living rent-free in our heads. But another team that, again, we could just say the same thing of incredible execution.
And we already know y'all are
Stingray All-Stars Orange.
Yes.
What a year. What another, kind of going back to almost just old school, fun cheerleading. Their music was another one that just brought something so fun to the mix, brought the energy. Everyone's kind of singing along with them. Hold up.
Yeah, and year after year, the large division, such a tough one. You don't know how this is going to fare out until it's physically happening on day 2. Obviously, because those day 1 scores don't matter going into day 2. You kind of get an idea, but it all depends on how you perform on that last day. And they come out here stunning tumbling, too. Their tumbling
Beautiful. That's what we're looking at here.
They're very powerful.
Okay, and this stunt sequence, iconic.
I know.
Okay, but every stunt that they did, that was kind of how they start off. Standing tumbling. Again, it's just, there's never a break because they start with that beautiful tumbling. There's the stunts. They go into their standing tumbling. This
right here for me, I know.
Incredibly difficult. And then to go to these full extended hand-in-hands.
Popping through, nice and beautiful, to the top, which is amazing too. I said it all year. I was like, that was one of my favorite stunt sequences with those extendeds and how every single time we saw them, they were beautiful.
Yeah, good flexibility here. This year, obviously, you saw a lot of hand-in-hands added to the mix. But to your point, being extended and being able to execute the way they did. And they had that since the start of the season.
Yeah, that wasn't
something that was added in. They've been doing this the entire way. That was really awesome to see this year.
Oh, this beautiful tumbling. I don't know what's in the water in Georgia, but there's so much power on these passes.
Again, Orange, just a team with such legacy, even back when they were in small, right? Like,
they kicked it off, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's like, let me...
and of course, in large, so many years. This pyramid, too, never stops. Always moving, always flipping, always twisting.
Yes. But one of my favorite parts about this pyramid is that once they are getting done with it, they transition so well into the dance. And of course, everyone knows and loves this dance. It is so iconic.
Like, tick, tick.
I know. I was like, I'm waiting for it too. I was like, I'm just
problems. But such a fun way to end it.
And into the
go, Orange, go. And this will forever live rent-free in our minds.
Yes.
Addie Watson, you are a queen. You killed this. Such a fun moment throughout the entire year.
And to know that people around the world were doing this dance. We saw JoJo Siwa doing this dance.
The orange dance went viral.
It went viral, and we were on the train. You don't want to see any attempt of me trying to do that dance. It will not be pretty for myself or my ankles, but we wish we could live that moment forever.
All right. Well, another one, sticking on the all-girl train.
Yes.
Cheer Extreme SSX.
Yes.
Ladies, you absolutely killed it. Another routine. This was just loaded from the start of the music to the end of the music.
Yeah.
With incredible difficulty, great execution. Obviously, SSX, such a storied history in this division.
And also, too, they're a great example, kind of like going back to Lady Jags, of they didn't have the best start to the season. It was one of those where they didn't start off the greatest, and everyone, like, they'll even say that themselves. They went quiet on social media.
Right. Well,
NCAA to Worlds.
They killed it at the majors.
Right.
Won grand.
Right.
And then Cheer Sport had a couple random things
mishaps.
that even yeah. It's like sometimes that happens though. It's like it's life. We think they're perfect. They are perfect.
But
we all have our bad days, right? Yeah. And then NCAA didn't go as they wanted either. But then
they come out to Worlds, and
they went back to work, and
one day too.
That's
two stunning
perfect
routines.
Zero deduction routines. Yeah. I remember day one. I remember literally being up front watching this. Obviously, we're showing you their day 2 routine right now, but it's zero. It's a hit zero either way, whether you're looking at day 1 or day 2. But specifically day 1, I remember sitting there. They walked out. And when you just have that confidence where you're like, oh, they're going to do it. That's how I felt.
You feel it in the air. They walk out and you're like, whoo.
Yes.
And same thing again, though. I'm like, Kelly, what's your secret over there in Raleigh? I'm like,
Haley in center.
Stunning.
Beautiful flying.
I know. It is
beautiful
so fun
cheerleading.
On this
so fun to watch.
She is such a phenomenal.
This was also, like, come on, Sharkies. The music was so fun to hear.
I could
we
just
could
watch
keep
this
singing
routine.
it. You guys don't want to listen to us sing it, but
Podcast, not a recording studio session right now.
again, great tumbling. Pretty much everything going through to a double here. Look at them all going crazy up front too.
I know.
Everyone just had the confidence, and I
Yes.
think that's very telling too.
It is.
Beautiful
last
right
pass.
there. Great jump execution as
Yeah.
well. That I think, again, just kind of talking about what we were saying earlier of how much cheerleading continues to grow.
And evolve.
Maybe like, back in the day, sometimes it was you'd be really strong in one area, but maybe not executing as well in the
Right.
jumps. Or like you had that strong section of your routine and that
Yes.
was enough. But nowadays, if you're
don't
going
have
to
a
do well,
choice.
you have to execute everywhere.
Every single thing.
And that's exactly what SSX did. Everything that they did in this routine was impressive.
And you can see right now, there's that moment where they nail that pyramid, and they just knew. You could feel the energy in the stands. Look at that crowd going crazy. It was
All the
electric
claps.
in
So fun. Everyone's singing, "We want some Sharkies." Beautiful.
Oh, iconic.
Congratulations to SSX.
On
And
their 5th world title.
again, this is one where they built up a little streak there. And then Lady Lightning came into the picture the past few years.
Yeah.
But again, Lady Lightning also had a great run this year. Came back, hit solid on day 2. They finished in 2nd place, I believe. But yeah, awesome to see SSX back in there. All right. 5 things we're still thinking about. We already talked about them a little bit.
I'm so
but
happy to talk about them again.
we're going to talk about them
Fancy, you
again.
should ask.
Central Jersey All-Stars Bombshells. Again, just such a fun routine.
Yeah.
CJA, they bring the crowd too. This was another one where that arena was rocking.
And this is one where, Team Guns too. I was like, they're also having
also finished in 2nd
phenomenal.
place in that extra small co-ed division. So Central Jersey All-Stars had a great showing. Yeah, we
But
see
with
you.
this routine, I was like, we kind of mentioned it earlier in the medium when we were talking about like the medium all girl, and I honestly had to bite my tongue a little bit because I knew this was coming later. But this routine, we have said it. I was like, I really do think it is hence why it's in our top 5 favorite moments. I could relive this routine over and over and over again, and I'm gonna try to wait till we get to some of the parts in the routine just to specifically talk about it. But they come out and right away, you're already blown away by it.
Right.
I'm like, their tumbling was beautiful. Everything is just stunning. And also,
lot of-
this is one where I love their uniforms so much. Their
yes.
uniforms are beautiful.
All these doubles to the front, great technique and execution. This was one of those things where I followed them backstage. It's 24/7 for them. It's
Right.
even when they're warming up, they're tumbling in the warm-up room that they're sticking and standing.
Right.
Like it's a habit and a culture for them.
And we're starting off strong. And this center top girl, she serves so hard the entire time. Her energy, oh my gosh, it makes me not want to ever take my eyes off of her. But beautiful, straight into that rewind. Well, knees going up from it, but
Full arounds.
the flexibility, amazing.
Great dismount here, adding some more difficulty
Yeah.
there. This was another one, just kind of seeing some of those fun upgrades for Worlds. It was still pretty iconic when they kind of did that in the circle, that circle formation.
Right.
But when they came to Worlds, they kind of spread it out a little bit more, which is, it's making use of the floor.
And
with
like,
a medium team,
yes.
it looks so impressive seeing everyone on each panel.
And like we said, with the musicality, like going into the jumps, like the field house in this performance was shaking with their music, and everyone like, singing the songs to them. Yes. Ugh.
That transition into this double full tumbling pass to then,
But
this is one of the
when
most
music-
iconic moments of cheerleading
when
this
I
year.
first saw this and the music goes silent and you're like, what? And it goes up, music starts again, and everyone loses it. One of my favorite moments of any routine this season.
And this pyramid, incredibly difficult too. They don't stop. They go right back into it. We're going back over. We're flipping. We're transitioning.
And this is one of those things too, where like if you're not if you don't completely understand cheerleading, if you miss some of these skills, which we know a lot of the people we're talking to, you get cheerleading. But if you miss one part of this, it's hard to jump back in. And we see that here, like they can't miss, and they don't, so they just keep hitting.
And now our fun little Sally Walker.
Oh my gosh.
Iconic too.
Yeah. I'm just walking, wishing we could hear the music with them right now too, which is so much fun.
I know. I will forever hear it in my head. It'll never go away.
Yep, the go girl, do you? Like, yep. In my head. Iconic.
Awesome showing from Central Jersey All-Stars Bombshells.
Yeah.
And
last but not least.
Certainly not least, this was a fun one this year.
This was
one that maybe not a whole lot of people knew about during the season. They kind of made a statement.
They competed for the first time in March.
Yeah.
Very first time in March, got that bid.
But to do what they did was so incredible.
Yeah.
Top Gun All-Stars Guardians, welcome to the Guardy Party.
And that it was out there. This
was a party.
Fun.
We say that because they all came out, everyone chanting Guardy Party, but it quite literally was. And we're about to see that right here.
And it's
first off, fun uniforms.
Fun uniforms, very fun.
Went along with it too.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too where I will say they competed for the first time of the season at UCA All-Star, and they got that bid. And this routine from 1 month span of time changed it.
Yeah.
As they did to maximize that world score sheet. And it was insane. We were seeing things that we didn't know what to expect or what was coming, like that Anodi.
Oh,
Here. That Anodi brings
right there.
Everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, what?
Maybe something that wasn't on the bingo card, Maddie Brum making a star guest appearance in this one. I remember on day one when they walked out, everyone's like, wait, is that Maddie?
I know.
Sure is, everyone.
And she will forever and always be one of my favorite people to watch compete from her All-Star days through her college and Team USA days.
And she turned it around really fast from NCAA College Nationals happening early April to wrapping it up with Worlds, Team USA as well.
Yes. But to see these stunning routines.
Yeah.
They come out and they just throw such fun skills. And that's another thing with this team. They come out and they're having fun out there. They have so much energy the entire time, having a blast on that floor.
And see, here in this level 7 division, this is what's cool, just the differences. Kind of that mix of true co-ed partner stunting to kind of just the two-man. But what you can do with it, so different. And they kind of had all of those elements throughout this mix, which was cool to see.
Love this routine so much. And we saw a lot of these athletes on this team also do coach some of the other Top Gun teams too. And they kept it pretty under wraps because I remember seeing a lot of them at NCAA All-Star, having some conversations with them, spilling absolutely no tea that they were going to be competing a couple weeks later on that All-Star floor in Florida.
Awesome one-on-one there in the back.
Yeah. So that was really cool to see a lot of our friends that we know that coach out there on that floor again, doing what they do best.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's just that element of level 7, doing things that no one else is able to do with some of these pyramids and some of the baskets.
Right.
It just adds that extra wow factor that they're already bringing the energy. They're already doing clean, consistent, good execution cheerleading. But then adding those fun, flashy skills that just adds a whole nother level.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I hope we see the Guardy Party in our future. I hope it'll come back out again this year for us.
For sure. Yeah. Well, the Cheerleading Worlds 2024, bringing it to a close now. But what an unforgettable year it was. Again, just year after year, talent is getting better and better. You can, of course, always go to FloCheer right now. You can rewatch your own routines that are living rent-free in your mind, always available for you. And be sure to go through some of our behind-the-scenes videos, too, for that fun extra element of, what do you think it's like? Or what's the final message from Coach before some of your favorite teams take the stage? We have a lot of that hidden in there, so.
But as we close that chapter, we are looking on to this next season, which is super exciting.
It's already started. Well, okay, and that's the thing. This month, I'd say May, kind of the start of June, kind of that tryout season. Maybe some teams are taking a little bit of a summer break. Even like the teams are made and then it's kind of mellow practices. But this is where everything's starting to gear up. This is where you're starting to think of, okay, what skills do we want to compete, and starting to perfect those just in practice and working the drills and working the tumbling. But then it all starts coming together. So we're getting to that exciting time where things have kind of been quiet, but
you're starting to see the puzzle as a whole. We're going to figure out what's going down heading into this season. So we'll have some of that behind-the-scenes action coming for y'all this summer, which is super exciting.
We'll be hitting the road.
Yeah,
places.
You'll see us first for surely. In good old New Orleans at the USASF conference. So make sure to come say hi. We would love to see you guys there. Get to know us a little bit. We'll rumor has it we might be having a booth set up, so come talk to us. Yeah. See what we can get going there. But
yes, please do. And that goes the same for in person, online. We want to hear from you. Our whole goal, we love cheerleading. We love bringing you the behind the scenes, but we just want to grow our sport and showcase you all on the highest level and showcase you all for the incredible things that you do. So the sky's the limit. Like we want to do that cool stuff. But also for those who maybe aren't as familiar with the USASF conference, it's just kind of the great minds of cheerleading all together. Coaches, gym owners, everyone kind of learning and growing from each other. Yeah. So we'll for sure be bringing you a little bit of a behind the scenes look, but also checking in with some of your favorite programs that are going to be there as well. So that'll be exciting just to have everyone together. Yeah. And I think also it's like this time of year, we go from peak cheerleading in April where your team might be practicing like every day getting ready for Worlds to like nothing.
You kind of go into hibernation for a little bit. You
that's
hibernate.
That's the best way to describe it, honestly.
Before you go into like the next season. Yeah, you gotta.
So it's almost like the little reunion going to the USASF conference because you'll get to see the people you've kind of been missing for the past month. They're just kind of like, okay, so what are you guys up to?
Yeah, you know, see some coaches, athletes, all that good stuff. There's like classes that people can take there. So please don't be afraid to say hi to us. We would love to see you all. So much fun.
Yes.
So
and stay tuned with FloCheer to see everything that'll be going on. But besides that, a few other trips in the works, but I guess we'll save that for now. That'll be the teaser. Yeah. But just know there are some fun things in the works for this summer, even the fall, gearing up for the season.
We hope to see some of y'all soon. Yeah. So
That's really all we got for right now. But like we said, we're kind of taking a crack. We're taking a crack at the whole podcast thing. But the whole point is we want to be able, we love talking cheerleading. I feel like if we're sitting at our desks, we're talking like this all day long. So we just wanted to bring it and share it with you all as well. So like we said, don't be shy. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you want to see
let us know
more
what you want us
routine
to talk about,
breakdowns or behind the scenes or whatever it is. But we're excited.
We're happy to provide it to you in any way that we can. So
yes. So thank you everyone for joining us for this first one. We'll be keeping our eyes glued to see if there's any more cheer news that might be breaking over these next few weeks. Of course, like we said, Cheer Athletics and Prodigy All-Stars
reviewing their teams today, right now.
Yeah. So hopefully we know more by the time this is released. But yeah, we'll be staying up to date. And of course, when there's more that we can chat about, you'll be able to find us right here on the FloCheer Podcast. Of course, this is Arielle Dworetsky. I'm Amber Salas. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Until next time.